It is Michigan and Northern Illinois this Saturday at the Big House, a big house that was rocking on Saturday night. Giving you guys another opportunity to win some cash from my pocket to yours. Go down in the comments, predict the score. I'll pin this comment, the score prediction thread there beneath the video in the comments. Reply to that, make it easier, or just comment it wherever you want. Now, someone hit me up, said, "Hey, James, I won. I predicted the score correctly. Haven't got a chance to verify it. A lot of comments came through. I was traveling yesterday. Didn't get in until, had to go home late, etc. So I'll verify it the next 24 hours or so. And if he did get it right, I'll Venmo him and we'll up that to $50. Up the ante, keep you guys on your toes with it. It's the Michigan Football Report. We have rumors on recruiting. It is 5-star season at Michigan football. We're going to talk about all the things coming out of this big game weekend from Saturday against Washington, coming up right now. We are presented by BetQL. If you use the BetQL service on NFL Sunday, they went 13-2 in their 5-star bets. I'm going to put the link you see down at the bottom of the screen. Put it in the comments. I'll put it in the description. Tell you about BetQL. If you get going, they got a special promo there with BetMGM to get their service for 1 year free. So check it out, chatsports.com/MichiganMGM. All right, on today's show, we are going to talk about the rumors of a silent commit coming out of the Washington game weekend. A lot of 5 stars, a lot of high-end 4 stars, official visits, unofficial visits, and all that. And we're going to talk about Josh Conerly, the number 3 offensive tackle in the country, came west with his hometown team, the Washington Huskies, was an official visitor. A lot of positive buzz coming out of that one. Could Michigan get the number 20 player in the country? Another 5-star, number 5 player overall in the country. Domani Jackson's been committed to USC for quite a while now, but he was on campus again, and there is a lot of chatter out there that he could be a flip with USC's coaching uncertainty going on right now. Before we jump into all those stories, I want to ask you guys to subscribe to the channel. Really helps us out. Had a really nice last few weeks of subscribers with the season back in action. Getting this close to Steve Deese and the Michigan Podcast Boys. So go ahead and subscribe. We want to get to 15,000 ASAP. Before we jump into the stories, though, I do want to address some of the rumors. A lot of chatter out there, a lot of buzz out there on the internet. People saying, "Oh, that Yoder out in Vegas filming videos. That guy's the life of the party," if you know what I'm saying. I saw people saying, "What's higher, Harbaugh's buyout or Yoder's blood alcohol content?" Okay. Just want to address the rumors. It is all speculation and hearsay. I was suspended for 48 hours administrative leave while I was investigated, whether I was drinking and YouTubing, completely exonerated. So none of that went down. So you guys just quit it. I was just high on life, baby. Just high on life. Doing shows from Vegas one night with another man, a seedy Vegas hotel room. You know what went down there if you saw the video. All right, let's jump into it. Is there a silent commit out there? All the blog boys are saying, according to them, and I don't really know what to believe, but I'm just going to give these recruiting guys some of their credits. I think I've seen enough things. I've gotten some DMs from folks. I texted a parent or two of players, and I'm giving this one 4 Harbaugh heads, which means, look, this is a fact, FACK fact, and I don't think it's the guys that everyone's hoping for, but these are my top 3 targets. So maybe one of them is the guys everybody's hoping for. Now, Joshua Josephs, coming out of this visit, all the recruiting guys out there are now putting in their 5 stars for him. I think it is the most likely of potential Michigan recruiting, potential commits. It could be Joshua Josephs, 4-star linebacker out of the state of Georgia, something like number 390 overall in the country. Number 2, Josh Conerly. Came west to east out of Seattle, Washington. He's been to Michigan now twice in the last 8-9 weeks. Jim Harbaugh also went out with a few members of the staff to see him at a satellite camp back in June. And he's down to Washington, so I'm get their butt kicks by Michigan and USC in Michigan. Coaching turmoil there at USC, but we're going to talk more about Josh Conerly a little bit deeper here in a second. Or Deone Walker out of the state of Michigan, Cass Tech High School. He was on campus as well. Could be him, although I don't think it is. But those are my top 3 most likely. Although I will say Joshua Joseph seems to be the one that gave a silent commit and now wants to set up some sort of press conference and social media buzz, coming out of this weekend and officially announce it on his own terms. But what a weekend for recruiting for this program. All the guys on campus, you had 3 5-stars in the 2023 class, 3, 4, 5 stars in the 2022 class. Will Johnson, obviously Josh Conerly, Domani Jackson, some big-time names. And Michigan did exactly, at least from where I sit, what they needed to do from a fan perspective I said on the show over the weekend, I don't know if I've gotten as many texts from as many rando people on the out in the my phone from people who don't even follow Michigan, just talking about, wow, this crowd, that stadium looks amazing. The MAIZE Out looked great, so congrats to everybody who went there, the cheering, the fans, but maybe most importantly, the team came out and played awesome, right? They didn't have the greatest passing game, and that's okay, but the team came out and played terrific, beat up on Washington. That's exactly what we need to do. Awesome crowd, awesome atmosphere. The heat is off, at least for now, of Jim Harbaugh and this staff. So big-time recruiting weekend coming out that. We're going to talk about these Domani Jackson rumors here coming up in a second. It's going to be our third story on today's show. But who do you think the silent commit is? I gave my three names. Go down in the comments. Type JJ for Joshua Josephs, the linebacker out of Georgia. JC for the five-star offensive tackle Josh Conerly. And if you think it's Deone Walker, go ahead and type DW, the Michigan, state of Michigan defensive tackle right around the city of Detroit. If you don't know what the Harbaugh head rumor meters are, folks, I want to walk through it really quickly for anybody new to watching the show. If we give something 0 Harbaugh heads, it means it's totally false. Fake news, probably Sam Webb reporting on something he has no idea about it. 1 Harbaugh head, small shred of truth. If it's 2 Harbaugh heads, we're putting that strictly in the rumor category. People are talking, as we say. 3 Harbaugh heads means it's pretty likely you'll see a couple of those coming up. And then if we give it the 4 Harbaugh heads, F-A-C-K, fact, that means it's going down. F-A-C-K is how Jim Harbaugh explains it, spells fact. F-A-C-K is how we spell it here at the Michigan Football Report. And our partner, BetQL, is trying to hook you up with a great deal in the state of Michigan. Go to that website at the bottom of the screen. It'll be in the comments in the description, chatsports.com/BetQL. If you want to have some more fun with sports, I said BetQL, chatsports.com/Michigan MGM is the BetQL offer. If you want to have more fun about betting sports right now, it's a hell of a lot more fun when you do it and you win. So BetQL uses all kinds of data to basically tell you what games to bet and why. They have a 5-star rating system, which went 13-2 against the spread in NFL Week 1. If you would have bet all those games, folks, you would be raking in the dough. So the deal with BetMGM in the state of Michigan, go to that website, chatsports.com/Michigan MGM. It'll drop you on the page to get started with BetMGM. Once you do so, put in $10, sign up for your $10 deposit, and make your first $10 bet. You get a 1-year subscription for free to BetQL. So you'll get a great deal with BetMGM, and you will start winning money with BetMGM by taking advantage of BetQL's awesome 5-star bets. Chatsports.com/Michigan MGM. Get going with BetMGM. Get a free year of BetQL, $180 value. Next up on the show, we've got Josh Conerly to Michigan. This has been all kinds of buzz, and I think I kind of discounted how likely of an option that he was. I assumed, just reading the tea leaves, Michigan hasn't really recruited that well out of the Pacific Northwest, but I'm giving this one 3 Harbaugh heads. And if we had the graphics department, you see these new graphics all around me the last week or so. If we had a better designer who can get half Harbaugh heads, I might give this 3.5 Harbaugh heads. Nevertheless, we do not. So I'm giving it 3 Harbaugh heads. Second visit to Michigan, as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, his rumored top 3, who's looking at a lot of schools, of Michigan, Washington, USC. If you just saw one of those teams beat the other down like nobody's business, a team also that lost to Montana the week before, you can't be feeling too good about Jimmy Lake and the Washington Huskies. And who's recruiting him at USC? No one, because no one from that staff is going to return. And there's a lot of talk out there, his parents in a few interviews, that they are okay and are really pushing him towards leaving the state of Washington, getting out on his own. And I think it's pretty close. I don't think it'll be a ton of time. I don't think he's going to wait to sign day or anything like that. I would guess in the next 4 or 6 weeks, and hopefully sooner, that Josh Conerly ends up with Michigan as the team he commits to. Now, when you get a big-time recruit like this from out of state, 5-star guy from all the way across the country, if he commits in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, and he's still got 2 months till signing day, there is a lot of risk that if Michigan's season doesn't turn out to be as good as it started, let's say they lose 3, 4, 5 games down the stretch, ton of losable games in October and November, that he would definitely be a flip candidate to decommit to somebody else, Washington, USC. Hell, Ohio State's basically owned the state of Seattle over the last 18 months. You never know there, although I don't think he's looking at Ohio State. So I think he's going to commit to Michigan in the next month or so, and they just need to have a great season on the field and show him that the offensive line play that he saw against Washington is what he's going to have when he is on campus, coming up here in about 3.5 months in January as an early enrollee. So I know he's got a couple family members that follow me on Twitter, and I'm guessing if they follow me on Twitter that they've at least clicked on one link and saw the show. So If you want to show him love, when I tweet this video out, maybe one of his parents, maybe one of his family members, they click into it, they watch, they see his name, they see this part. Show him some love down in the comments. I want the Conerly families to scroll down, see all the fans giving him love, go blue, because I've seen a bunch of Washington fans that traveled out for the game saying, gosh, Michigan's atmosphere was amazing. They really get it. That's a football factory. They take it seriously. Washington's a chump school. Washington has no idea. Washington fans are terrible. I don't say those things, folks. Conerly family. The people are saying that, and I'm just repeating it back to you. I haven't been to Washington. I'm not sure if that's the case. I do know that Michigan has an underrated atmosphere, and the Conerly family saw it on Saturday night in person. But how about Domani Jackson? All right. Domani Jackson was considered to be a Michigan lean all throughout this junior season, sophomore season a little bit. His dad is a Michigan fan. He's really good friends with Will Johnson. I'm only going to give this one 2 Harbaugh heads because I felt good about Domani Jackson going to Michigan in the past. I've probably even given it 3 or 4 stars that he was leaning there. So I'm only going to give it 2 stars. 2 Harbaugh heads. People are talking here. His bromance with Will Johnson, Michigan's 5-star cornerback, top 10, 12th player in the country out of the state of Michigan. They're boys, they're friends, their dads have become really good friends. Jackson's dad grew up a Michigan football fan, probably watched Will Johnson's dad, a Michigan football player in the 90s, play. They're always hanging out whenever one or the other is traveling to a recruiting camp or to a game together. And there's a lot of reports out there that's saying this USC coaching drama has him looking to flip, and Michigan seems to be the most likely next option for him to jump in there. So we'll kind of take a look at why I think this may be more trending towards 3 Harbaugh heads, maybe even 4 Harbaugh heads, and why some others are a tad more optimistic than I am at the moment here in a sec. But one more time with BetQL, it's chatsports.com/MichiganMGM. Break it down in very simple terms. Go to that website. I'll send you to the page with BetQL, BetMGM in the state of Michigan. Sign up, make your first deposit of just $10. Once you make your first bet, within 24 hours, you'll get an email from BetQL saying, hey, you're getting our 5-star betting predictive and analytics service for free for a year. It's a $180 value. I'm going to pull it up and tell you. I'm going to give you guys a little taste, wet the beak a little bit here. I want to make sure. I don't know if you bet on college. Not sure if you bet on NFL games, but I got the Saints. Just looking at here, I'm going to give you one. Saints -3. 5-star bet for BetQL. So even though you get going, you're going to win some money with them by taking the Saints, giving up 3 to the Panthers. Get going, chatsports.com/MichiganMGM. All right, Domani Jackson, Will Johnson, the bromance of the number 2 and the number 3 cornerback in America. Just think about where Michigan's fortunes would turn in just over a year. End of 2020, they couldn't stop my grandma from dropping 350 through the air on that secondary and Don Brown's last few games. Playing this season, looking okay, although they did give up a lot of yards to Washington in the second half when they were trying to make a comeback. You get the number 2 and number 3 cornerback on campus in January, go through spring ball. You're not going to tell me that one or more of them won't be starting. Domani Jackson for sure. Will Johnson maybe is a little raw. Will be starting next fall, and that secondary will be shored up in a lot of ways coming back. So that was a photo of the guys in the inverse jerseys. MAIZE on top, blue on bottom, which I really like. I hope Michigan wears them this year. And they were posting all kinds of things on social media this weekend. And Domani Jackson's dad, I think he's playing the game a little bit. He's quote tweeting a lot of stuff out there on Twitter. His Twitter handle is like Domani Dad, something like that. Follows me on Twitter. The parents love me. And he's putting out there, they're not shying away from the speculation that Michigan might get a flip from Domani Jackson. If they get Conerly and they get Jackson, if they beat Wisconsin in 3 weeks, folks, you will have the best month of September for this program in a long, long, long time. So I'm looking forward to seeing what comes from Domani Jackson. I think a flip is potentially, maybe a decommitment is imminent. Hopefully it's a flip to Michigan. We'll see what happens. One more reminder, the data analytics team and the research team is trying to figure out if we actually got someone to correctly predict the score or if he had some shyster editing his pick. That'll be $50. We'll up it if someone did. If they didn't, we'll keep it at $25. Predict the score. Go down, reply to my pinned comment, and see if you can predict the score, Michigan versus Northern Illinois on Saturday. We'll be back with more Michigan football news and rumors. I got a show for you Thursday and a show for you Friday. Until then, go Blue.